Hello everyone. Well, I've been practicing with the Zhiyun Crane M electronic gimbal quite a lot more recently because it works quite well with my new camera I've bought for video work, the fantastic but mildly tricky to use Sony a6300. I still use my little Canon EOS M3 and bigger Canon 6D for still photography. I really like Canon's colours and image quality in general, for a number of reasons which I'll try to cover in a later video. But for video, I'm delighted with the 4K footage from my Sony a6300. It has its limitations, but the sheer sharpness and good dynamic range, especially when shot with a low ISO and with slow movements, are just what I need for certain projects I'm working on. And of course, the camera has a nice low profile, even with the small Zhiyun Crane M attached to it. You have to use pretty lightweight lenses with the camera though to stick within the Crane M's weight limit of 650 grams. In this case, I've been using the 16 to 50mm kit lens, which is only just sharp enough for 4K video, I'm afraid, and the excellent image stabilized Sony 35mm f1.8 lens, and the also excellent Samyang 12mm f2, which pushes the weight limit a bit, actually. So here's some footage I took on a recent trip to beautiful Portmeirion in North Wales. See what you think. The 4K footage here is at 100 megabits a second and is showing a lot of detail in the foliage without any real problems. And you can see that the autofocus, set to the central region, is responding pleasingly well. It's far sharper than anything I've shot with the 1080p video mode on a Canon camera. My wife is using the gimbal and camera in this shot. It takes a little practice to use the gimbal smoothly. You need to turn the camera around much more slowly than you think for nice looking footage. But considering it's her first time using it, she's doing quite a good job. Something you can't see in this footage is just how enjoyable it is to use the Crane M. It's possible to use the gimbal for smooth panning shots, where otherwise you would have needed a good quality tripod. I'm pleased with this footage as it shows such excellent sharpness, colour and dynamic range. And because I'm shooting in 4K, if I want to I can zoom in and out of the footage, cropping wherever I like, and I still get a fantastically sharp final product at 1080p, which is all the resolution I need for the final render. I had to bring down the highlights a lot in this footage, but I shot it on picture profile 4 on the Sony camera, which gives a little extra dynamic range, and so it turned out okay. As you can see, the Zhiyun gimbal is very good at tilting as well as panning. When walking or climbing stairs, the gimbal is really helpful. It's not generating the smoothest, most professional steady cam level of footage, but it's certainly helping a lot to smooth out your movements. And here's a final walk around the village with the lovely wide-angle Samyang lens, a review of which is coming soon, which is capturing plenty of detail and a slightly dramatic image. Here you can see the Crane M in use. It's also possible to use Zhiyun's dual handle to distribute the weight of the unit a bit more evenly as you carry it, which can be a little bit helpful. The extra handle is sold separately. Overall, the Zhiyun Crane M Gimbal combines with a small camera to make a very discreet camera system, ideal for guerrilla and semi-professional filmmaking, giving your footage an extra punch of smoothness and professionalism. It's been working very well for me so far, the batteries last a long time, and it's just plain fun to use too. It's really handy.